coming in dead last and 30th overall in my 2018-19 NBA preseason power rankings are the Sacramento Kings. They're coming off a very disappointing but predictable 2017-18 season and are looking not to make the playoffs, but to see growth and development amongst their young core. Will the addition of Marvin Bagley create chaos amongst their jammed frontcourt? Will the continued growth and potential breakout seasons from De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield lead this team to a more successful season? My name's Jackson, and this is the Six Man's 2018-19 preseason power rankings for the Sacramento Kings. Alrighty guys, so today we're talking about the Sacramento Kings, who I penciled in 30th, dead last in my overall power rankings. And so last year they did go 27-55, which got them 12th in the West, which I would have thought would have gotten them probably last place, especially in a super stacked, super tough Western Conference. But they did get 12th, and that's mostly due to teams like the Suns and the Mavericks not playing to the best of their ability and kind of falling off more than people thought. So part of the reason why the Kings did do decently last season, and by decent I mean not absolutely last in the Western Conference, is due to their freshman point guard as well as their 5th pick in the 2017 draft, De'Aaron Fox. And he did do as bad as well as you'd hope from someone drafted then. 11.5 points, 4.5 assists, 2.5 turnovers, which is very, very respectable for a first-year guard. And because of his speed, was getting comparisons to players like John Wall, Russell Westbrook, and a little bit of Mike Conley thrown in there, which is very, very exciting if you're a Kings fan, to get your point guard having comparisons to people with multiple All-Star game appearances under their belt. Another great addition to the team was actually the mini breakout season of second-year guard from Oklahoma, Buddy Hield, who came over in the DeMarcus Cousins trade last year. And he did exactly what people were hoping he would do coming out of college, which would be a knockdown three-point shooter. He ended up shooting about 43% from three-point range and filled a Kyle Korver-esque role from the good Atlanta Hawk days, where no matter how, you just could not leave him open no matter what happened, and you had to stay so tightly guarded to him that it create space for players like De'Aaron Fox and players just like De'Aaron Fox to get into the paint and just get to the rim with ease, as well as create looks for bigger players like Skal Labissiere and Zach Randolph. Now the big new addition to this team this season is the 2nd overall pick in this latest draft, Marvin Bagley. Now he is getting comparisons to players like Kevin Garnett and Amar'e Stoudemire. However, I don't really think he's going to be that good. I'm thinking more of Kenneth Faried, with a little bit of jump shot, obviously an energy kind of driven player, as we saw in Summer League. And he did show that he could stroke the ball from outside here and there, so definitely has a little bit more upside than Kenneth Faried, but I'm kind of thinking about in that area. But this does, however, create a huge problem for the Kings that head coach Dave Yeager is going to somehow have to figure out. He's going to need to somehow solve the problem of this just jambled, super jammed front court. There's players like Zach Randolph, this veteran presence that's going to demand minutes. As we already said, Marvin Bagley, this rookie who's obviously going to want to show what he's worth. Willie Cauley-Stein, the defensive anchor for the team. Harry Giles, coming off that huge injury, is going to need some minutes so he can show what he can do in the NBA. And of course, Skal Labissiere. Now the sad part about this is that the Sacramento Kings did have the 2nd worst offense in the league last season and the 3rd worst defense. And sadly, I don't see, after the only addition being Marvin Bagley over the offseason, because obviously they did not get Zach LaVine, who they did throw big money at, but obviously the Chicago Bulls did decide to keep him. Marvin Bagley isn't going to solve these two problems. I actually say he's going to make it worse. Again, he's a very high energy player, but very inefficient on the offensive end, and has also been said to have kind of some defensive problems. And again, with the jumbled front court, it's just going to make matters worse and worse and worse. And I just don't see this team getting any better. I actually see them coming down a little bit with this addition. Now, I'm not saying that Marvin Bagley is going to hurt the team in the long run. Obviously, I think he's a great addition and is going to one day help out this team and possibly be the star that they're looking for to pair alongside with De'Aaron Fox. Again, they're both huge energy players. Run up and down the court. They're going to get some amazing transition buckets. That's actually probably what their team's going to rely on this entire season. But as of this next season, I just don't see it working out. Now, a big upside for the Sacramento Kings is that in the Summer League, Justin Jackson and Frank Mason both had big bounce-back years. Frank Mason looked like he was a veteran. He ran the team really well, looked very calm under pressure, handled the ball very nice. Great addition to the Summer League, as well as Justin Jackson, who had a very, very disappointing rookie season. Came back, averaged 18 points on a 30% shooting from 3, and even dropped a 28-point game, and I believe a 24-point game in the Summer League. And so that was great to see, I'm sure, for all Kings fans. So when it comes to mid-season trades that this team could do to get better or perhaps secure their future, there isn't much that this team could do, especially since if you're the Sacramento Kings, you gotta keep your draft picks. You're tanking, obviously, like this team is not going to do well next year. You gotta keep those draft picks. I thought Zach LaVine would have been a great addition to this team in free agency. Again, he would have had the athleticism to keep up with Marvin Bagley and De'Aaron Fox. Sadly, that didn't work out. But if you're this team, a few things that you're going to need is, first of all, since you're second in offense and third in defense, you're going to want a 3-and-D kind of player. They don't really have that right now. So someone like a Robert Covington, Gerald Green, or Jeff Green, all players that can create their own offense a little bit, but be that primarily that 3-and-D player to play alongside of De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley. Or another player that could help you is a calming presence at shooting guard who could help with the playmaking with alongside De'Aaron Fox, but definitely like slow it down a little bit when you need to, because your whole offense cannot rely on fast breaks and getting transition buckets. So someone like Malcolm Brogdon would also be a very, very good fit along this Kings team. So kind of to wrap it up, I have nothing against this Kings team. I think they're kind of headed in the right direction. I love De'Aaron Fox. I really like Buddy Hield. He's going to be an amazing shooter throughout his career. Marvin Bagley, I think, has potential to be something great. But sadly, with all the teams around them getting better, the Mavericks, the Suns, like there is nowhere for this team to go this next season but down in the rankings. So sadly, that's why I have to give them the 30th overall in my power rankings and an end of the season record of 25-57. Alright guys, I just wanted to thank you so much for watching. As I said, I'm going to do power ranking videos for every single team in the league, starting with 30th and going all the way up to number 1. So stay tuned for that. Once again, I'm the 6th man. My name's Jackson, and I'll see you guys next time.